The phone slipped from my hand, crashing onto the kitchen floor as I stared at the anonymous text. A photo of my father, arm in arm with a man I recognized all too well, my boyfriend's uncle, caught in a compromising embrace outside a motel. My heart pounded like a war drum, the world tilting as years of hidden truths unraveled in an instant. How could the man who preached family values and condemned my own secret desires be living a double life that mirrored mine? I froze in the middle of our family dinner that evening, the clinking of silverware suddenly deafening. My mind raced back to how it all started 2 years ago on that isolated hiking trail in the Appalachian Mountains. I thought I was alone, escaping the suffocating expectations of my conservative Virginia home, when he appeared, Alex, with his easy grin and piercing blue eyes, turning a solitary walk into the spark that ignited my hidden self. Back then, I was Ethan Harper, 24, fresh out of college with a degree in engineering but trapped in a job at my father's construction firm. Dad, Robert Harper, was the pillar of our community. Church deacon, little league coach, the kind of man who quoted Bible verses at barbecues while railing against the liberal agenda eroding family values. Mom, Susan, baked pies for every fundraiser, her smile a mask over the quiet despair I sensed in her late-night sighs. And me? I buried my confusion deep, dating girls sporadically to keep up appearances, all while wrestling with dreams that featured strong jaws and broad shoulders instead. That day on the trail, sweat-soaked and breathless from the climb, I paused at a overlook, the valley sprawling below like a promise of freedom. Mind if I join you? His voice was calm, carrying a hint of a New York accent. Alex Rivera, 26, an artist visiting from Brooklyn, sketching the landscape. We talked for hours about art, life, the weight of unspoken expectations. His openness was intoxicating. He spoke freely of his ex-boyfriend, of coming out in a family that embraced him. For the first time, I felt seen, not judged. But inside, turmoil brewed. What am I doing? I thought, my pulse quickening as our hands brushed while sharing water. This isn't me. Dad would disown me. Yet, when he suggested grabbing coffee in town, I said yes, the word escaping before fear could clamp down. That coffee turned into dinners, stolen kisses in his rental car, and soon, a secret relationship that made me feel alive and terrified. Months passed, and Alex became my anchor. We'd meet in hidden spots, late-night drives along the Potomac, weekends in anonymous motels. He pushed me gently toward honesty. Ethan, you can't live like this forever, he'd say, his fingers tracing my arm. Your family's love shouldn't come with conditions. But I knew better. Dad's rants about those people at dinner tables echoed in my head. If he knew, it'd kill him or me. One night, after a heated argument with Dad about a gay colleague at work whom he called unnatural, I drove to Alex's temporary apartment in D.C., tears streaming. I can't do this, I confessed, collapsing into his arms. The guilt is eating me alive. Alex held me, whispering, Love isn't guilt, Ethan, it's courage. His words pierced me, stirring a storm of doubt. Is this courage or betrayal? Am I choosing happiness over family or just selfishness? The anonymous text shattered everything. Staring at the photo, I felt betrayal twist like a knife. Dad, the hypocrite, entangled with Alex's uncle Miguel. A man I'd met at family gatherings Alex dragged me to, always warm and welcoming. Miguel, openly gay, had mentored Alex through his coming out. How long had this been going on? Was Dad's vitriol a shield for his own secrets? I confronted Alex first, storming into his studio the next day. Did you know? I demanded, shoving the phone in his face. He paled, sinking onto a stool. Ethan, I suspected something. Uncle Miguel mentioned a complicated friend from Virginia, but I didn't connect the dots until recently. His eyes pleaded. I didn't want to hurt you. Hurt? It was devastation. He's protecting his family over me, I thought, rage boiling. You let me suffer, hiding from mine, while yours enables this? We argued for hours, voices rising, accusations flying. Alex accused me of cowardice. I called him complicit. By the end, we were both exhausted, the air thick with unspoken regrets. Driving home, my mind swirled with questions. Why Dad? Why now? The irony burned. The man who drilled traditional values into me was living the very life he condemned. Part of me wanted to expose him, to force the truth into the light. But another part, the son who still craved his approval, hesitated. What if this destroys Mom? The family? At dinner that night, Dad was his usual self, joking about politics. I watched him, searching for cracks in his facade. When Mom asked if I was okay, I mumbled something about work stress. Inside, I screamed. How can you preach one thing and do another? The hypocrisy fueled my anger, but also a twisted empathy. Maybe he's as trapped as I am. Weeks turned into a tense standoff. I avoided Alex, ignoring his calls, drowning in isolation. One evening, I found myself at the trailhead again, the place where it began. Sitting on a rock, I let the memories flood. Alex's laugh, his touch, the freedom he offered. Do I deserve that? Or am I doomed to repeat Dad's mistakes? Then, a decision crystallized. I had to confront Dad, not out of vengeance, but for my own sanity. The next morning, I cornered him in his home office. We need to talk, I said, my voice steady despite the tremor in my chest. He looked up, eyebrows furrowed. What's this about, son? I showed him the photo. His face drained of color, hands shaking as he set down his coffee. Where did you get this? Does it matter? I snapped. You've been lying to all of us. To Mom. To me. He slumped back, eyes distant. Ethan, it's not what you think, isn't it? You're with Miguel, Alex's uncle. My boyfriend's uncle. The words hung heavy, my secret spilling out in the heat of the moment. Dad's eyes widened. Boyfriend? You're. Yes, Dad. I'm gay. And I've been hiding it because of you, your judgments, your sermons. But look at you. Silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then he broke. I never wanted this life for you, he whispered. I fought it myself for years. Married your mother to fit in, to be normal. Miguel. He's the only one who understands. His confession hit like a gut punch. He's been suffering too. Empathy warred with anger. Then why condemn others? Why make me feel like a monster? Because I was afraid, he admitted, tears welling. Afraid of losing everything. The church, the business, your mother. We talked for hours, unraveling decades of lies. He spoke of his youth, suppressed desires, the pressure from his own father. I shared my pain, the isolation. It was raw, painful, a bridge built on shared wounds. But choices loomed. Mom deserved the truth. And Alex? I owed him an apology. That night I called Alex. I confronted him. I said, it's a mess, but I get it now. He sighed. Ethan, this changes everything. Did it? Or was it just the beginning of more pain? Reconciliation with Dad felt fragile, like walking on cracking ice. We'd agreed to tell Mom together, but doubt gnawed at me. What if she leaves? What if the family crumbles? The weight of that decision pressed heavier each day, my mind a battlefield of loyalty and self-preservation. Alex and I met at a quiet cafe in Alexandria, the Potomac glittering under the sun. He looked weary, shadows under his eyes. You dropped off the map, he said softly, stirring his coffee. I thought we were done. I needed time, I replied, reaching for his hand but pulling back, habit dying hard. Finding out about Dad and Miguel. It flipped my world. He nodded. Uncle Miguel told me everything after your confrontation. He's devastated, Ethan. Thinks he ruined lives. Ruined? Or revealed? I wondered. Miguel had been a silent player in this drama. His affair with Dad spanning years, hidden in weekend business trips. Alex explained how Miguel had confided in him recently, torn between love and ethics. He wanted to end it, Alex said. But your dad, he's persuasive. Persuasive or manipulative. Dad's charm had built his empire, but now I saw the dark side. Using it to maintain his double life. Am I like him? Hiding to avoid consequences? We decided to bring everyone together. A risky summit at Alex's family home in Brooklyn. Driving up with Dad. The silence was oppressive. "This better work," he muttered, gripping the wheel. Miguel greeted us at the door, his usual warmth tempered by anxiety. Tall, silver-haired, he hugged Alex, then nodded at Dad with a mix of longing and regret. "Robert," he said quietly. Inside, tension simmered. Alex's parents, progressive academics, eyed Dad warily. His mother, Elena, offered wine, but the air crackled. We sat in the living room, the weight of secrets palpable. Dad spoke first. "I've lived a lie," he admitted, voice cracking. "Hurt my family, hurt Miguel. But I love him, and I love my son." Miguel's eyes softened. "And you, but at what cost? Susan doesn't know yet." The mention of Mom stung. "She's the innocent here," I thought, guilt surging. Alex squeezed my knee under the table, a silent anchor. Arguments erupted. Alex's father, Carlos, challenged Dad. "How can you preach hate while living love? It's hypocritical." Dad bristled. "I was scared. Society, the church, they don't accept us." "Us," Carlos pressed. "You've condemned people like us for years." I intervened, my voice rising. "Enough. This isn't about blame. It's about fixing the damage." But inside, doubt festered. Am I fixing or enabling? By supporting Dad's secret, was I betraying Mom? The meeting ended in uneasy truce. Dad promised to tell Mom. Miguel agreed to step back until then. Driving home, Dad was quiet. "You think she'll forgive me?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "But hiding longer will destroy her more." That night, alone in my room, memories haunted me. Childhood Sundays at church, Dad's hand on my shoulder during sermons on moral decay. He was warning himself. I realized, pity mixing with resentment. Alex texted, "We can get through this. Together. But could we?" Pressure mounted at work. Whispers about Dad's odd behavior circulating. A coworker, sensing my distraction, pulled me aside. "Everything okay? Ethan? You seem different." Different. The word echoed, stirring paranoia. Do they suspect? Coming out felt inevitable but terrifying. What if I lose my job? Friends? Then the blow. Mom found out on her own. Rifling through Dad's phone for a contact, she saw messages from Miguel. She confronted him that evening, screams echoing through the house. I rushed downstairs to find her sobbing on the couch, Dad kneeling, pleading. "Susan, please." 30 years, she cried. "Lies. And Ethan, did you know?" Her eyes turned to me, betrayal raw. "Yes," I whispered. "But Mom, I'm gay too." She laughed bitterly. "Of course. Like father, like son." The words cut deep. "Is that all I am? A reflection of his flaws?" She stormed out, staying with her sister. The house felt empty, echoes of happier times mocking us. Dad retreated to his office, bottle in hand. I called Alex, voice breaking. "It's falling apart." "Come here," he urged. "We'll figure it out." I drove to Brooklyn that night, collapsing into his arms. "I feel like a traitor," I confessed. "To Mom, to everyone." "You're not," he murmured. "You're brave." But bravery felt like burden. As we lay together, his breath steady against my neck, I wondered, is love worth this wreckage? The next days blurred in negotiations. Mom agreed to talk, but her conditions were harsh. Counseling, separation, full disclosure to extended family. Dad balked at first, pride warring with remorse. "I can't face them," he admitted. "You have to," I insisted, "or lose everything." Miguel called, offering support. "I'll back off if needed," he said. "But Robert, be honest for once." Honesty. The word haunted me. In a quiet moment with Alex, I voiced my deepest fear. "What if this breaks us too?" He cupped my face. "It won't. We've fought for this." Yet, as family therapy loomed, uncertainty loomed larger. Am I choosing right, or dooming us all? Therapy sessions became our battlefield, words as weapons in a war of truths. Mom sat rigid, arms crossed, her eyes flicking between Dad and me like we were strangers. "How could you both deceive me?" she demanded, voice cracking under the therapist's neutral gaze. Dad shifted uncomfortably. "I was ashamed, Susan, afraid of what I'd lose." "And me?" she shot back. "You lost me anyway." I watched, guilt coiling tighter. This is my fault too, I thought. By staying silent, I'd enabled the lie. The therapist probed gently. "Ethan, how does this make you feel?" "Trapped," I admitted. "Like I'm paying for Dad's sins while hiding my own." Mom's head snapped up. "Your own? You've been lying too." "Yes," I said, meeting her gaze. "I'm in love with Alex. Have been for years." Silence fell, heavy as judgment. Then, she softened slightly. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because of him?" I nodded at Dad. His words made me fear rejection. Dad hung his head. "I'm sorry, son. I projected my hate onto you." Apologies flowed, but wounds festered. Outside sessions, Mom confided in me over coffee. "I still love your father, but trust is shattered." Her vulnerability stirred protectiveness. She deserves better than this half-life. Meanwhile, Alex faced his own storm. Uncle Miguel, guilt-ridden, distanced himself from the family. "I never meant to hurt anyone," he told Alex. But Alex's parents blamed Miguel for enabling Dad's hypocrisy. Family dinners turned tense, accusations flying. Alex vented to me one night, pacing his apartment. "They're acting like Miguel's the villain. But Dad, your dad, pursued him." "I know," I said, pulling him close. "It's unfair." Unfairness bred resentment. Why must we clean up their mess? I wondered, holding Alex as he trembled. Our relationship, once a refuge, now felt strained by external chaos. At work, ripples spread. Dad's business partners, hearing rumors, questioned his reliability. "Personal issues affecting professional?" one asked. Dad assured them, but I saw the strain: late nights, skipped meals. One afternoon, a client pulled out, citing moral concerns. Dad exploded in his office. "This is what happens when secrets come out." "Then own it," I challenged. "Come out publicly. Show strength." He laughed bitterly. "Easy for you to say. You're young. Young and suffering because of your cowardice," I retorted. The argument escalated, old grievances surfacing. "You've always been weak," he spat, "hiding behind me." Weak? The word ignited fury. "I'm stronger than you. At least I'm trying to live honestly." He stormed out, leaving me reeling. Am I strong, or just reckless? That night, Alex and I argued too. "You're pushing too hard," he said. "Give your dad time." "Time? We've wasted years," I yelled. He sighed. "This anger, it's consuming you." He was right. Anger poisoned everything, turning love into liability. Lying awake, I dissected my choices. Pursuing Alex, confronting Dad, exposing the affair. Each step forward feels like two back. Mom's decision came suddenly. She wanted a trial separation. "I need space," she told us over dinner. Dad nodded numbly, but I saw the devastation in his eyes. As she packed, she hugged me. "Be true to yourself, Ethan. Don't end up like him." Her words echoed as she left, the door clicking shut like a finality. Alone with Dad, silence stretched. "What now?" I asked. "We rebuild," he said weakly. But rebuilding meant facing society. Church friends distanced themselves, whispers turning to outright shuns. At a community event, an old neighbor confronted Dad. "Heard about your indiscretions. Disgraceful." Dad stood tall. "My personal life is mine." Pride swelled in me, but fear lingered. Will this isolation break him? Alex suggested a getaway, a weekend in the Catskills, echoing our first meeting. "To reconnect," he said. We hiked familiar trails, hands intertwined openly for the first time. "Remember that day?" he asked, smiling. "How could I forget?" I replied, kissing him softly. Yet even there doubts intruded. Is this fleeting peace worth the ongoing war? Back home, a bombshell. Miguel reached out to Mom, apologizing profusely. I never knew the full extent, he wrote in a letter she shared. She softened, inviting him for coffee. To understand, she explained. The meeting was tense but revealing. Miguel shared his story, coming out young, facing rejection, finding solace in hidden relationships. Robert was my escape, he admitted. Mom listened, tears flowing. You both stole my life. Not stole, Miguel said gently. We were lost too. Empathy bridged gaps. Mom began forgiving slowly, but forgiveness demanded change. She insisted Dad attend Pride events, educate himself. He resisted at first. I'm not ready. Then we're done, she stated. Faced with ultimatum, he agreed. Our first Pride parade in D.C. was surreal, rainbows everywhere, crowds cheering. Dad looked uncomfortable, but as we walked, something shifted. A stranger thanked him for showing up. Tears in his eyes, he whispered, maybe I can do this. For me, it was liberation. Holding Alex's hand publicly, I felt weights lift. But joy was bittersweet, shadowed by losses. Friends gone, family fractured. As tensions eased, new conflicts brewed. Alex's career suffered. Gallery shows canceled amid the scandal's publicity. Guilt by association, he joked darkly. I'm sorry, I said, holding him. This is my family's fault. Ours now, he corrected. We're in it together. Togetherness tested us. Was our love resilient or cracking under pressure? Fractures deepened as publicity spread. A local newspaper picked up the story. Anonymous tip, sensationalized headline. Local businessman's double life exposed. Dad's face splashed across pages. Our family drama dissected for public consumption. Calls flooded the office, clients fleeing. We can't associate with this, one said. Dad's empire teetered, layoffs looming. He aged overnight, shoulders slumped. I built this from nothing, he lamented. Now it's crumbling. Blame turned inward. If I'd stayed silent, none of this, I thought. Guilt a constant companion. Mom, back home but sleeping separately, oscillated between support and resentment. We could have handled this privately, she sighed. Private, secrets had poisoned us. Yet exposure brought unexpected allies. Old friends reached out, sharing their own struggles. A cousin confessed her bisexuality. Your bravery inspired me, she said. Bravery felt like survival. Alex and I navigated the fallout, our relationship a lifeline amid chaos. But strain showed, missed dates, snapped words. One evening, after a grueling day, he exploded. I didn't sign up for this circus. Neither did I. I shot back. But love means enduring. Or leaving, he muttered, storming out. His words hung like a threat. Alone, panic surged. Is he regretting us? Memories flashed. Our first kiss, promises whispered. Don't let this break us. He returned hours later, apologetic. I'm scared, Ethan. Of losing you, of everything. We held each other, vulnerability raw. We'll fight, I promised. Fighting meant confronting betrayals. We traced the anonymous text. Turns out, a disgruntled employee Dad had fired, seeking revenge. Justice felt hollow, damage done. Society's judgment intensified. At church, the pastor pulled Dad aside. Repent or leave. Dad chose leave, a seismic shift. I won't beg for acceptance, he declared. Mom supported him, their bond mending through shared defiance. They attended support groups, rediscovering intimacy on new terms. Watching them, hope flickered. Maybe redemption is possible. But for me, internal war raged fiercer. Coming out fully meant risking all. At work, I confided in my boss, Dad's partner. I support you, he said, but whispers followed. A promotion opportunity arose, but rumors tainted it. Nepotism or pity? Colleagues murmured. Paranoia gripped me. Am I earning this or paying penance? Alex faced similar doubts. His art, once vibrant, turned dark, canvases of fractured families. This is therapy, he said, but sales plummeted. One night, he confessed, I wonder if we're toxic for each other. The words gutted me.
No.
We're stronger together. But doubt seeded. What if love demands sacrifice? Letting go. Crisis peaked when Mom suffered a breakdown, hospitalized for stress. This family's tearing me apart, she whispered from her bed. Guilt crushed me. Visiting, I held her hand.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Don't be, she said weakly. Just choose happiness wisely. Wisely. Choices haunted. Pursuing Alex, exposing Dad, pushing for change. Each carried costs, relationships strained, careers jeopardized. Discharged, Mom demanded family counsel. No more secrets, she decreed. We aired grievances. Dad's hypocrisy, my resentment, her pain. Tears flowed, catharsis emerging. Dad vowed change, advocacy work, supporting LGBTQ causes. To atone, he said. Miguel re-entered cautiously, friendship with Dad evolving platonically. We were wrong, he admitted, but lessons learned. Alex and I, witnessing this, recommitted. Through hell and back, he joked. But hell lingered. A hate mail campaign targeted us, threats, slurs. Police involved, but fear permeated. One night, alone on the trail again, I broke down. Why us? What did we do to deserve this? Alex found me having followed. Because we dared to love, he said, pulling me up. His strength bolstered mine. We decided to move forward. Engagement rings exchanged in private ceremony, a promise amid turmoil. Family reacted mixed. Mom tearful joy, Dad tentative approval. Proud of you, son. Pride swelled, but shadows remained. Society's acceptance was partial. Prejudices endured. As we planned a future, questions plagued. Is happiness earned through suffering? Or is it a right? The wedding approached, small and intimate. But eve before, betrayal struck anew. Alex's ex resurfaced, offering escape from the drama. Alex confided, tempted briefly. He represents simplicity, he admitted, hurt pierced. And I represent complication? Yes, but worth it. Worth it? The admission shook me. Am I enough? We argued fiercely, trust fraying. If you're doubting, go, I yelled. He stayed, but seeds of uncertainty grew. The ceremony proceeded, vows exchanged amid tears. Yet, as we danced, doubt whispered. Is this forever or fragile? Post-wedding bliss was illusionary, reality crashing like waves. Honeymoon in Maine, secluded cabin, ocean views, offered respite, but calls from home intruded. Dad's business faltered further, bankruptcy looming. Need your help, he pleaded. Duty pulled me back prematurely. Alex understood, but resentment simmered. Always them over us, he muttered. Them is us, I countered. Family, family. The word once comforting, now conflicted. Back in Virginia, I dove into salvage efforts, cost-cutting, client outreach. Dad, humbled, followed my lead. You're the strong one, he admitted. Strength? Felt like exhaustion. Nights blurred. Alex distant via phone. Miss you, he'd say, but tone flat. Distance bred isolation. Is our marriage already cracking? I wondered, staring at our ring. Mom stabilized, mediated. Balance, Ethan. Don't lose your life-saving hours. Balance eluded. A major client meeting turned hostile. Can't trust a family with such scandals. We lost the contract, Dad devastated. Blame shifted to me. If you'd stayed closeted, he trailed. The hypocrisy reignited fury. Like you? Look where that got us. Argument escalated, doors slamming. Alone, regret flooded. Why fight for a man who hasn't changed fully? Alex arrived unexpectedly, sensing crisis. I'm here, he said, embracing me. His presence soothed, but tensions exploded in a family dinner. Mom pushed for full reconciliation. Dad resisted lingering ties with Miguel. Miguel's a friend, Dad insisted. Friend or crutch? Mom challenged. Alex interjected. This cycle, it's toxic. Dad snapped. You don't understand.
Ido, Alex retorted.
I've lived openly, paid the price. The room erupted, accusations flying. I defended Alex, alienating Dad further. Choose sides, Dad demanded. Sides? Heart torn. I chose truth. No sides. Just honesty. Dad stormed out. Mom followed. Alex and I sat in silence. Maybe we should leave, he suggested. Start fresh elsewhere. Leave? The idea tempted new city, anonymity. But abandonment felt like failure. Am I running like Dad did emotionally? Debate raged internally. Pros, freedom, peace. Cons, deserting family in need. Mom returned, pleading, don't go. We need you. Need versus want. The pull was visceral. Crisis culminated when Dad suffered a heart scare, stress-induced. Hospitalized, he confessed fears. Losing you all. Bedside, vulnerabilities surfaced. I was wrong, he whispered. About everything. Forgiveness tentative, but genuine. We all were, I replied. Recovery brought change. Dad sold the business, pivoted to consulting with inclusive focus. Time for new beginnings. Alex and I considered relocation to California progressive haven. For us, he said, but roots held. We compromised stay but set boundaries. Society evolved slowly. Acceptance grew through advocacy. Dad spoke at events sharing his story. From hypocrite to ally, he joked. Pride swelled, but scars remained. Alex's art flourished anew, themes of resilience. Yet, in quiet moments, doubts persisted. Did we choose right? Pay too high a price? One evening, on our trail now symbolic, Alex proposed renewal vows. To affirm, he said. As sun set, we exchanged promises. Love deepened by trials. But perfection eluded. A final twist. Miguel moved away, closure for all. Reflecting, pain transformed us. Stronger, wiser. Was hiding the truth ever justifiable? Or does authenticity always demand such devastating sacrifices?